Welcome! We are making mango Sansrival today. This is a Filipino dessert that is actually French in origin. Its name is actually in French. Sansrival means without rival. The components of this dish are nuts, sugar, butter, the buttercream, and mangoes, because our Filipino take, we love mangoes. Okay, so for the layers, we will be using cashews and almonds. Okay, so that will be the difference, because usually we just use cashews, but we want to mix the two flavors in to bring out the flavor of the mango more. Where we will be using layers of Dacquoise or the egg white biscuit. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Okay, let's begin. We will start with the Daquoise layer. Just a few reminders on preparation. Separate the egg whites well. Roast the nuts before using them in the recipe. Crush with a food processor or rolling pin. Any method will do. Use a dry bowl and attach the whisk attachment. Transfer the nuts into a baking sheet or baking pan. Combine your flour and cornstarch in one container. Roast your nuts for 10 minutes at 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. When you are done, just remove it from the oven and cool it for 5 minutes before you start chopping them. Crush the nuts, pulse for a few times. The result will be coarse nuts and a fine ground powder. Pass them over through a sieve and you will get the nut flour and the ground nuts. Combine the flour mixture with the nut flour. For the egg whites, just put them in your stand mixer. If you're using a hand mixer, that's fine as well. Put it in medium to high heat and beat until frothy. You will see lots of bubbles. That's when you'll know that it's ready. You can add your vinegar, your acid or lemon juice. I used apple cider vinegar, that's why it's darker in color. I think it produces an extra layer of taste. And gradually add your sugar. Okay, it's important to gradually add your sugar or else your egg whites will flop. Turn it to high speed and wait until it reaches medium peaks. So you can check it periodically so that you'll see if it's already medium stiff peaks. Once ready, you can transfer a third of it into a bowl and add your nut flour, fold, add your crushed nuts and fold. After mixing it well, you will now add this to the rest of your meringue. Fold well and fold quickly. Next step needs a little bit more preparation. You need to line the parchment paper, draw the desired shape, and then you pipe it inside that shape. The best tool is to use a baking sheet, but I didn't have that with me. I'm using a baking pan. If you are using a baking pan, please do not pipe it to the edge. You will have a very difficult time in removing it if you pipe it to the edge. And lastly, smoothen so that you'll have an even layer. Bake your Daquoise layer at 160 Celsius on a gas oven, but if you're using an electric oven or convection oven like mine, you'll need to adjust between 140 to 150 and bake for a longer time. Now, while baking, let's prepare the French buttercream. Temperature is quite important in this step. Prepare your room temperature egg yolks, chop the butter into cubes and make sure they're chilled. Add the sugar and the water into a saucepan. Boil to desired temperature. In the mixer, kindly attach the whisk attachment and whip your egg yolks. Once it is slightly pale in color, you can gradually add your syrup. Gradually add this, don't dump it all at once. Okay, and increase the speed. Whip it until pale and thick. It will double in volume like this. Then add your butter, a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons at a time. It's important to add your butter while it's still cold. We have a very hot climate, and if you add butter that is overly softened, your buttercream will not form into the desired consistency. When all butter is in, add rum and vanilla. Whip until light and lovely. This process takes a little longer than the egg whites. Be patient and it will be worth it. If you're not ready to use the buttercream yet, just keep it in the chiller. And we are in the most creative part, the decorating. You can decorate it however you want. I am using mangoes. I don't have the mango baller, so I'm using the spoon, measuring spoon, to just get the shapes that I want. I'm going to use the mango balls on top of the cake, and the rest of the mango, I will be using it for the filling. Once your Daquoise biscuits are completely cool, you can peel off the parchment and you're ready to assemble. Add a bit of icing on the middle of the plate to serve as your glue. Divide your buttercream for the inside filling and the outer coating. So for the inside filling, I just added a little bit of mangoes to give that extra aroma and flavor, and layered my excess mango chunks in the middle, and then completed the layer until I finished the whole tower. You can do this however you want. The others, they prefer to put nuts inside, in between, marshmallows. It doesn't matter what you want to put in between the layers, as long as they're evenly spread and the layers will be clearly seen. Here is the tricky part. The buttercream was starting to melt as it became hotter that afternoon. If you're encountering the same problem, just chill your buttercream for a few minutes. 5 to 10 minutes will do. If you over chill it, your buttercream will set and you'll need to re-whip it into a spreadable version. I had also kept my mangoes in the chiller so that it will not release its juices, and it will be a nice topping for the cake. Of course, the best way to pipe a cake is if you're in an air-conditioned room, but we all know that that's going to be quite expensive. Okay, so the cake is starting to take form. Just put the crushed nuts on the side. It is traditionally, Sansrival traditionally looks like this, that the nuts are on the side. You can opt to put it only on the edge or cover everything up. And then it's time to delicately place your decorations on top of the cake. This is the most important because when we are eating desserts or sweets, usually we eat first with our eyes. So we did a little piping here, nothing special, but it looks quite delicate. Still had leftover nuts, so sprinkle it over the top, and there you have it, the mango Sansrival. These are the layers. When sliced, you will see the layers like this. It is actually my first time making this, so follow the adjustments to make a crispier layer. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, drop them in the comments.